Hartwell was coming on, and I knew that she was disinformation, so I decided to call into Alex Jones' show. And this is after I'd warned Stat Miller and Ted Anderson, etc., and tried to warn Alex. Alex was buddies with Stat Miller. Stat Miller protected his back over the John Gray story. And by the way, folks, I have all of this information documented. If you got a pencil handy, my email address is hitech1, HITECH1, at bluemarble.net. That's hitech, the number 1, at bluemarble.net. Now, this is, I believe this is me calling into Alex's show, warning about Hartwell coming on to spread a disinformation. And here we go.
Indiana, Larry, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex, I heard you talking about with Craig Roberts yesterday, and I think that was a very good topic, even though some might consider that ethereal. It's important to know that you do have to do something, even if the odds look like they're against you. The way I read the Bible, we may not win this, especially if we don't wake up enough people up, but you got to know that even though the odds are against you, you still got to defend your family. You still have to try, because you are going to answer for what you do. I also wanted to thank you for staying pretty much on topic. There's a lot of hosts that are letting topics of aliens and, a million Chinese robotoids come across the air, and it's important to maintain credibility and not let patriots look like idiots through these kind of topics that are getting out.
Well, that's done to discredit wider topics. They'll mix things in that can't be proven.
Okay, that wasn't the clip where I called in. Let's see. This is it.
Ohio, Lee, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Is your offer to disagree with you on something still open, Alex?
Sure it is. Go ahead.
Okay. I agree with you about rat poison being partial truth mixed with lies. I agree with you that Fritz Springmeier is a good guy with that flyer that you put out on mind control Illuminati. I agree that talking about a million Chinese robotoids is a smokescreen for larger topics. So is it a bad thing to point out that we shouldn't be listening to people perpetrating these things like Stu Webb is going to do on Jeremy Floyd's show tonight?
We got the New World Order to fight, and
they are the New World Order.
And I'll tell you, I'm not going to have people stir up stuff on my show against this radio network, against this radio station. I don't sit here. I got the New World Order to fight. I don't sit here.
They are the New World Order, Alex.
I don't sit. Let me assure you, this network is not the New World Order. And
Barbara Hartwell, CIA, is not the New World Order.
Who?
Jeremy Floyd's going to have Stu Webb with Barbara Hartwell, who is CIA, cutting down Fritz Springmeier and spreading disinformation this evening.
Well, that's been about listening to it. I'll call in and disagree with it, and I appreciate your call, Larry. Look, folks, I'm not going to sit here. This show's been successful. I've gotten legislation with your help.
Anyway, he goes on to pat himself on the back and spin the story. I'd basically gotten out what I wanted to get out. And interestingly enough, Hartwell and Webb came on. Alex called into Jeremy's show and told them to get them off the air. You still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So he did at least do that. But then John Statmiller and Alex Jones tried to turn around and imply that I, on Mark Kernke's show, was the COINTELPRO. They had booted Webb and Hartwell off the air. They then booted Jeremy Floyd's show off of Genesis. And then you had Alex and Statmiller. Let's see if this is the clip here. Here we go.
People that are supposedly on our side that are supposed to be sending all the ammunition downrange to destroy the enemy that seems fit to sit around and scratch each other's eyes out. I am amazed.
Well, that's really it. I mean, that's really it. What is COINTELPRO? Stirring up fights, stirring up rumors, attacking people, telling lies, judge a tree by its fruits. Who's affecting change? Who's getting bills thrown out? Who's getting the Patriot Act repealed in cities? Who's bringing up new talk show hosts? Who's networking and fighting and being positive? That's your patriots. Your evil evil people are those saying they're patriots, spewing out ridiculous propaganda and lies. But the good news is people aren't paying attention to that. They're moving forward. People know things are wrong. They know we're under attack. They don't want to hear the propaganda that's meant to neutralize them and to get them to hesitate. The key is, folks, you know you're good out there. So, my leader, you get in the fight. And believe me, that's the message the globalists don't want to hear. And when you hear that message, you know you're listening to the right thing.
Now, did you hear what he advocated, folks? Who's getting shows on the air? Who's getting the Patriot Act repeal in counties? Well, let me tell you, when they declare martial law and come rolling through with tanks and guns, do you think they're going to care one iota about that little resolution you passed in your town hall?
I have a petition standing on the Internet for 2 years now. Yeah, it doesn't make a real huge difference, but at least your name's out there standing against something.
The reason they're doing this is they don't want people advocating physical resistance. Oh, you can talk all you want. You can point your fingers at Bush.
Yeah.
But they're going to turn around and throw you in these SEMA detention camps or shoot you in the head or shoot you with a vaccine unless you are prepared to physically resist. That means shooting them in the head.
Yeah.
That's what Mark Kornke advocated. That's why they wanted him out of there. And that's why you have people, even like Dave Von Kleist, he admitted that, gosh, we had all these government disinformation types and all these different groups. We've been lied to. I think all those groups should get back together, except maybe the militia groups.
Yeah, that's really something I've advocated is self-defense.
That's biblical.
And standing against these freaks, doing something about it. I even talked about the type of rifle to use, an M1A, which is a civilian version of M16. That's the most effective. Yeah, I've talked about that on this show. I had a question from a listener on where is Mark Kornke now? Is he still in jail?
He is still in prison. That's my understanding. I mean, I've never seen him. I'm here in Indiana. My understanding is he's still in the Kinchlow, former. See, this is what's interesting. Mark warned people that they were shutting down military bases and turning them into detention camps. Where is Mark now? Supposedly he's in the Kinchlow Air Force Base, which was a former military base, now turned into a prison, just as Mark warned. I really suggest that people get with Nancy and order Mark's videos. Old Alex will come out with a video of the month club. How many videos do you need, folks? Each about $25 or $30. Well, you can get all three of Mark's America in Peril series, which are about 2 hours each. See how prophetic he was. See why the New World Order wanted him out of the way. You can contact Nancy Kornke at 734-424-9335. Again, if you miss anything, just email me at hitech1@bluemarble.net.
You might want to tell them it's just a HI tech.
Yeah, it's HITECH 1, number 1, at bluemarble.net. In order to find the truth, because there's so much of this garbage out on the Internet, and it's taken me a long time to discern this. It's like watching the John Carpenter movie, They Live. In that movie, they put on these special, what they call Hoffman lenses, and they could see the, quote, aliens running the show.
Yeah.
But there was so much imagery and so much New World Order messages in that movie. I highly recommend checking it out because it's exactly the way it is.
Oh, it's a classic.
But, over a period of time, one thing that's clear, birds of a feather flock together. These creeps ally with each other.
Yep.
We've seen Barbara Hartwell ally with a online John Birch Zionist, gay-friendly, I might add, and he openly allied with him. As long as she pushed John Birch material.
Yeah, and he's one of the guys that joined my list and got booted off. He was just so obnoxious.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of disinformation.